What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some excellent duels for you guys to check out, especially this first one. It's going to be one of the most impressive displays I have seen in a very, very long time, showing you guys that DDD is not a deck to be slept on. A lot of people have, disregarded DDD. They don't really think that much of it because they were less than impressed with DDD's Link Monster and Link Frames 2. And, it's a card that is super underrated. I think a lot of people think just because it's not insanely broken, it's not useful, but you guys will see it can put in that work. Also, if DDD ever get Crystalline Needle Fiber into TCG plus the DDD Link Monster, that'll definitely help the archetype out, and we could see it definitely rise up to maybe that regional top 8 level, maybe shock some people. But anyways, let's see if Pendulum Magicians at the bottom can stick to the game plan, and he definitely is going to stick to that game plan. He's going to get everything as a Pendulum player that you could possibly want. I don't think that it gets much better than this when you get your Pendulum Summon for like 4 monsters, and then in addition to that you're getting Harmonizing Magician, getting another card. Also, he did search Zephyr Divine Strike, so he already has 1 negation before he even goes into his extra deck by the way of the Zephrani, so he got a counter trap. That's obviously pretty nice. Goes for Underclock Taker. This is just a way of getting the Rusty Bardiche, and that's going to get him even more negations because he has the Vortex Dragon on board. And these boards are incredibly powerful. Most decks can't beat this because you're talking about essentially 4 negations. And I know some people are like, Cav G, it's not 4 negation. Guys, it's 4 negations. 1 negation in Vortex Dragon, 2nd negation in Zephyr Divine Strike, and then you got 2 copies of Fog Blade. Those are disruptive cards. Now, it could have technically been 5 negations because if he would have activated a spell card, or if his opponent does, this Jackal will be online, and that's another basically negation because it's a walking Doka. So his opponent basically has to get this card off field without activating any spells, or just kind of play with no spells for this turn. But let's see if he can do it. Kepler is going to be summoned. That's going to get 1 Fog Blade out. Fair enough. He's going to activate that green slime from his hand. Then he's going to use the effect to summon the Copernicus. Not bad, not bad. I think that he might try to activate the effect of Copernicus. And what happens here is his opponent does use uses a Fog Blade on the fusion monster, the Executive Genghis, and Genghis is going to try to negate the Fog Blade, but obviously he still has 2 more negations left. So Vortex Dragon Chainlink 5 says no, that's not going to happen. And then he is going to still get a monster back. He's going to get Lamnia on field. He's going to go for the Crystalline Needle Fiber, but that's not going to resolve. He just goes for the Zephyr Divine Strike. That is negation number 4, and that's going to go to the graveyard. But this is where I'm telling you, man, that DDD Link Monster puts in the work. He goes for it, and being able to get 2 scales for free and then have a Pendulum Summon on top of that, it changes the duel completely. He's going to be able to get the Ragnarok effect off, bring back his Executive Caesar, bring back the Executive Genghis, bring back the Little Genghis, and this was amazing. I have never seen anything like this in my life. He's going to Exceed Summon for the Kali effect, King Kali right here. This card is literally just too strong. Shout outs to Kali effect. Look at this negation. You guys have probably never seen this many cards on the field actually be negated by a single card. Let's go ahead and do some counting right quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards by my count, unless I miscounted. 11 cards are being negated by a single monster. That is ridiculous. He turns his opponent's entire board off, basically his board as well. He doesn't get to, Feather Duster those back row because he does have the protection of the Pendulum Call, but it doesn't matter. It's a quick effect, so he can just use it during his turn. Now, the thing is, Pendulum Editions are still a deck that can play. They can play okay from behind. They still have the Pendulum Summon. So he's like, Cav G, I'm still in this duel. I'm going to wreck my opponent's board. No problem. Uses the purple poison, pretty much gets rid of almost his entire board, but this is once again where the DDD Link Monster proves it's pretty damn good. It allows him, when it's destroyed, to summon one of his cards from the graveyard. He decides to get back to Ragnarok. Ragnarok has a Monster Reborn built into it, so it's just going to summon the Executive Genghis back. He goes for Naruto Shippuden, but that ain't gonna do nothing, man. He don't even need his spells and traps. Sure, he pops the Pendulum spell, but it doesn't matter. He goes for the DDD Link Monster, the Gilgamesh again, and then he just Pendulum pendulum summons 2 more, and I mean, the card is speaking for itself, man. In this duel, it is legitimately doing that work because it not only gives you your scales, and the scales don't activate, by the way. That's why he didn't. That's why he wasn't able to use his jackal. It's not like you're actually activating the spells, and your opponent would, get any type of effects off that, or you can use the effect under something like anti-spell fragrance. But getting full scales and then getting a pendulum summon for free is just absolute nuts. And the thing is, if you use it towards like one of the last monsters that you summon from your extra deck, then its effect that you're locked into DDDs for the rest of the turn isn't really all that relevant. Like, you guys saw him make it in consecutive turns, and it was pretty damn powerful. Like, it was very impactful. So that's our first duel. DDDs end up taking it. Our second duel is actually going to be Trains versus I believe it's Paleo Frogs. But I looked at this opening hand and I was closing my eyes because it was like watching a head-on collision. I just thought, man, the more the Train player commits to the field, his opponent has evenly matched. And this is why I always try to play around evenly match. And I play Salamander Grace. We got a counter trap. You got to go for that card always, but you can't really just know your opponent's playing evenly match in game one, although there are a lot of go second decks right now that are playing it. And this is why, man, evenly match, blow your opponent out, back that up with a card of demise, and you're basically on 6 cards while they're on 3. So I thought the game was honestly just over at this point, but he's going to do a pretty good job of fighting back here. I was like, bro, he should have just scooped, but not really. He's going to pop the Ronin Totem, then gets the Solemn Judgment out, and I was like, what? Okay, maybe he gets lucky. He's going to go for the other rank 10, and this was a nice snipe. He pops the card of Demise, which is obviously the recovery card for the Paleo player, and I'm like, dude, I think he's back in this game now. I mean, he has 3 cards. His opponent has like 4. He is going to get a Paleo from the graveyard, and goes to match is going to kill one of his monsters. I thought he should have kept the Sky Palace, but that's just me. I don't know why he kept the Train Link monster, which is okay. I guess he wanted the Bullet Liner effect to add 1 to his hand. It is fine because he's able to go into Dora here, and once he has the Duracrane, he's able to like pop a card. Dora is going to protect itself. Duracrane's probably going to pop one of the random back row. Let's see what he gets. Okay, it's an Olenoids, which means that he is going to activate. And I was like, why would you pop your own Gozen match? I think he's just trying to get his Paleos out of the graveyard. Wabaku came in clutch here because it allowed him to not just get a trap card. So technically it's a 1-for-1, but it allows him to make sure his monsters are protected from battle here. So I was like, maybe he can turn this around. Let's see exactly what's going to happen. Goes for the big Paleozoic, but obviously Dora can just protect herself, so that's not going to really get the job done. Now, this was the misplay of the century, guys. I'm telling you, if you guys ever go to a premiere event, even if you're just playing on Dueling Book or Dueling, if you're playing on YGO Pro, if your opponent has a set card, never, ever, ever do what this guy's about to do. Never activate it in the same column. You can activate it in the freaking pendulum columns if you want, because your opponent might have infinite impermanence, and thus your Monster Reborn gets negated. I can't tell you how many times I've caught somebody doing that, and it's always a misplay because there's, why even play into that small chance that your opponent could have impermanence? And you could say legitimately it cost them the game because his opponent is now up on him in a duel that it looked like he was about to come back off that, that absolutely ridiculous turn 1 blowout evenly match followed up by a card of demise. He was kind of coming back, but now his opponent has way too much going for him. He has Totally Awesome. He has Mr. Boy. He top decks a Kaiju monster. Nothing else is going to get him out of this. I thought maybe if he would have got, Urgent Schedule, but it just doesn't matter because he has Totally Awesome. He can simply negate it, and that's a GG no re. Oh, man, such a preventable mistake. He could have actually just activated it in a different column, and he might end up winning that duel, but you live and you learn. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.